Do you feel like your teammates are always going for the same ball as you? Or that you never see a shot coming until it's already too late? The problem isn't always speed or mechanics in this game. Most of the time it's awareness. Let's fix that. It cannot be overstated how important the skill of awareness is, and it really is a skill, one that separates the lower ranked players from the higher ranks. It means tracking where the ball is, where the teammates are, where the opponents are, and where the ball is likely to go next. In Rocket League, awareness wins games. And that leads me into ball cam. Now, ball cam is our bread and butter. It lets us stay connected to what is going on in the play and where most of the players can be seen. It gives you the most relevant information and allows you to get a good reference point, with the choice to use rear view or flick the camera to the sides to get a complete picture if needed. But a lot of players either turn off ball cam too often to go for boost, or turn off ball cam during an entire rotation out after finishing a play. The pros use ball cam in pretty much every situation, except sometimes to dribble or briefly align themselves with the nearest boost pad. When training, you want everything except the actual ball carry and close dribbles to be done on ball cam. If you're not used to this, it will feel really awkward making movements that turn you away from the ball and disorienting when the ball is above you, but this is a necessary thing to learn and will only make the games easier going forward. It can happen in your games that the ball flies high above you as you're moving back. Then it's okay to turn off your ball cam just so you can orient yourself and drive in a different direction back, just to escape the upwards angle of the view, and then to turn it back on again. You might have seen some high-level players moving back to their half after finishing a play, but on the same side as the ball, bumping opponents out of the way and cutting the ball to keep possession, otherwise known as ball side rotation. We won't be doing that at all right now because it breaks fundamentals to try and gain an advantage where there is a play with high potential but carries a corresponding risk. And when you don't do it properly, well, you end up looking like this. So if you rotate on the same side as the play, you risk double committing, losing out on boost, ending up under the ball, and not being able to reach a free ball that goes mid. Not to mention the lack of vision and awareness that you're going to have. But rotation in Rocket League is a word often thrown around. But what does it mean? It essentially means to continue moving out, around, and behind the play after you're done trying to make a play on the ball. Whether it is dribbling the ball, missing it, or being unable to challenge it in the first place, working as spokes to a wheel, all players on your team, in theory, have time to get boost, challenge, and continuously have someone able to defend as well as they're coming back. Rotation gives a good idea of what the game should look like, because we cannot stay near or under the ball for long as our boost runs out and we lose vision of the pitch. And that means if you lose the ball here, you will be stuck, unable to get back, giving the opponents an easy counterattack because you've lost all your momentum. But in practice, rotation might not play out the way you think. You know those teammates that just won't rotate. But there is a lot of different ways that your team can mess up rotation. Teammates might be too far back to challenge after you're on your way out, leading to giving away way too much space and setting the opponents up for a good shot. You might not be able to drive far out because a teammate is likely to miss the ball or pinch the ball with the opponent to go straight back to your half. In which case you can't afford to be too wide because you'll be unable to save the ball. Teammates will challenge at the same time as you, at the least convenient time, and bump you off the ball as you're going to make a play. Does this look familiar? And I guarantee that you've done this to your teammate at some point too. We can blame them as much as we want, but at the end of the day, what we need to do is purely look at what we can control and do things differently to win that same game. So how do we win with a teammate that does all of these things? Too far away when you need him to challenge, misses when it's his turn to go, challenges when he sees you're about to go. Because this is the reality of Rocket League solo queue ranked. A reality that most players aren't willing to accept and embrace, meaning you'll be permanently stuck in the low ranks. Here's what I need you to do. When you're done with a play, you're gonna drive out wide and away in an oval or circular motion, keeping your eyes on the play unless you're pretty much zero boost, in which case you can briefly turn off ball cam to align yourself with the nearest boost. That's on your way back. Then turning ball cam back on to see the field again. Always trying to stay ahead on where is the ball gonna go. Is it the opponents that have the next touch on the ball, or is it your team? This gives us a lot of power to influence the next play and even catch a free ball that rolls out. So rotating along the opposite side, or at least to the midfield, keeps your team spaced, lets you see the play develop, and gives you time to grab boost. Especially for the lower ranks, it's not just safer, but smarter. You're giving your team structure. But the important thing to remember is that you cannot always rely on your teammates. So you're gonna have to be more ready to go back and go in behind your teammates, trying to get at least half the pitch away before turning forward again. But how do we actually build awareness in our own games? The first way is with a mental cue. Every few seconds in a game, you need to ask yourself, where are my teammates? Where are my opponents? Where is the ball likely to go next? You do this enough times and it becomes second nature and will be the basis for making good decisions in your games. The second thing to practice is simply rotating wide. Load into free play and hit the ball, then rotate how you normally would, practicing keeping ball cam on the entire time and trying to hit boost pads on the way back. Remember to go out, around, and specifically behind when you rotate wide. Now in your games, of course practice rotating wide, arriving back post, or at least far behind your team if you're already in offense or midfield. Between a third or half the pitch away, but I recommend a half the pitch away before turning forward. Hey guys, it's Buns from the future here. I just wanted to quickly say that since this is a video on awareness, I want to explain what I mean with that. Basically, it means that you should be getting more information while playing the game. And you should do that by spending roughly 60% of your time actually looking at the players and around 40% of the time reading where the ball is going. But essentially, you get more value looking at the players rather than the ball. And that's kind of the heart of this entire video. So now comes the summary. So if you want to rank up faster, you have to stop relying on reacting and start seeing the play for what it really is. So use ball cam smartly, get more information, rotate away from the ball to give yourself space and boost, but not too far away to the point that you can't save a ball that goes back. And turn if it's a free ball. Remember to always be looking at the play and not drive too wide going away so that you can no longer get back in time to save a shot. You want to balance between being able to step back in and keep your options open, but also be defensive and ready for a shot. Then train your field awareness with mental cues. This is a skill and something that you need to practice often to get it down. This is how you can know also when your opponent is challenging you. This is how you figure out rotation and how far you can actually rotate. And this is how you win even with bad teammates.